Hey, it's Doris with All the Books, and I am here with a readathon TBR. Oh, imagine that. So yeah, I know I said I was going to do the newts this month, but I'm just not feeling it. I might do, one or two at the end of the month, but right now, what I'm feeling is the POCathon, People of Color, POCathon, if you will. Whenever I say that in my mind, I see Pocahontas and Pokemon, and that's just simultaneously hilarious and disconcerting. But anyway, yes, People of Color, POCathon. I'm super excited. This is hosted by Ghostreader and et al., and I will link them below. And yeah, one thing I really like about readathons is when they inspire me to read some books off my shelf and make those books, exciting again. Because sometimes when you grab books, especially the ones that you find at used bookstores or book outlet, they can just kind of get lost on the shelves after a while. And these readathons just make them seem new and exciting once more. And this one, I think, is especially conducive to that. Yes. And the prompts especially conducive to that. And they're a style that I really like as well. So let me just jump into them. The first prompt is to read books where the main characters are people of color, and it encourages you to read from at least 3 different groups. So I think I've nailed that. Let me just show you the 7 books that I have here for the week, because spoiler alert, I'm gonna try again for 7 books in 7 days. That didn't go so well for me the first 2 attempts. I did 7 and 7 readathon, and then I did booktubeathon, and I did read 7 books in 2 weeks. But anyway, I'm currently on attempt number 3, and there's still a chance I might make it. But here, let's go for broke and try a 4th week in a row. So this is what I have for the whole week, and some of these don't necessarily go for the POCathon, but let me just share them all and then we'll talk about them. So I have There by Tommy Orange. I don't really know if I need to talk about this one much. It's been rather big on BookTube at the moment, and the author is a member of the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations from Oklahoma. The book is set in Oakland, California. Native Americans in an urban setting centered around a big powwow. And yes, so that one I've been excited to read, so I wanted to include it for sure. And then I have The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And yes, this one, the author is Brazilian, Portuguese writer, and this is a quest from a shepherd in the Andalusian mountains goes on a quest all the way to the pyramids of Egypt. Yeah. And this one I became interested in. I had an ESL student a few years ago that her first day at school in the United States, she went to the library and wanted to check this book out. I'm like, oh, that has my heart. So yeah, I've been wanting to read that ever since then. And then I have this little book that I found at the used bookstore, Balzac and the Little Chinese Seamstress by Dai Saiji. Oh, sorry. And this is a Chinese author who himself went through the Cultural Revolution in China in the early to mid 70s and ended up immigrating to France in 1984. So this is written in French and translated into the English, and is itself about the Cultural Revolution in China. And then I have A Horse Walks into a Bar by David Grossman. This won the Man Booker 2017. This is translated from the Hebrew. This is about a comedian, so I think the whole act is act a comedian's night at the mic, and what he reveals that night. And I'm kind of curious if this one deals with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I don't know, but I don't like to know too much about books before I go into them, but I'm curious to see where this one goes. And the mother of the comedian is a Holocaust survivor. And then I have A Long Way Gone, Memoirs of a Boy Soldier by Ishmael Beha. This one centers in Sierra Leone, and the boy was taken up into the army at 13 and pulled out by UNICEF when he was 16. So he started the army at 13 and came out at 16, and it deals with you know, him being a child and a gentle soul and being forced into this violent environment and being forced to do violent things, and how when he gets out, coming to terms with the things he's done and learning to live again. So very, very interested to read this, definitely. And then I have number 3, The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. Yeah, super excited about this. I think I was reading the first 2 with Stephanie from Time to Read, and I think that she has finished this one by now. So I gotta finish it myself so we can chat. And then last for the week, I have my Mary Stewart for the month, Airs Above the Ground. And this is our buddy read for this month, so I needed to do it this week. Definitely, even though it doesn't fit with the readathon. Still gotta read it because we're buddies, you know. This one is set in Vienna, Austria, and I didn't realize it until just now, but it's about the Lipizzaner stallions, and I have always been fascinated by them. So super excited to get to this one. So yes, I definitely think that I will have several lead characters that fit into the people of color category. So excited about that, and I'm excited to be on the world stage because this one is on the continent of Africa. This one is Middle Eastern. This one is Asian. This one, while it's not set in South America, the author is from South America. This one is North American, and this one is European. The next challenge is to read a work that's either a classic or translated. Now, I thought that this was a modern classic, but it's really only 25, 30 years old, so not quite yet, but I know it's very well known. But I do have several translated works. So these 3 are all translated works. So Portuguese, French, and Hebrew. So that'll work. And then read a science fiction or fantasy by a person of color. So that would be N.K. Jemisin. She is an African-American author. So excited about that. And the only one I don't have is the poetry collection. I'm trying to focus on reading down my shelves because, you know, I bought too many books last month. So I don't have any poetry collections on my shelf at the moment. And the last one is to read a book focused on racism, prejudice, or immigration. And like I said, I don't know like a lot about each of these books, but I think that I will hit one or all of those topics as I read them this week, and I will get back to you on that. So definitely check down below to read more, learn more, watch more about this readathon and the great YouTubers, booktubers that are hosting it, and I will get back to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.